So, we've spent the last 20 years really worshiping at the altar of the 10 blue links.
Right. It's been the standard operating procedure for, well, for the entire digital economy. Be listable, be rankable.
Be rankable, exactly. You optimize, you backlink, I don't know, pray to the algorithm gods, and you just hope you land on page one, because if you're on page two,
You're invisible.
you might as well be dead.
Right. But here's the problem. We aren't just searching for lists anymore. We're starting to ask machines to think for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that shift from search to synthesis is just breaking the old playbook.
Hmm.
If ChatGPT or, Claude can't summarize your business in one coherent sentence, you don't just lose ranking. You
Right.
effectively cease to exist.
That's really what's at stake here. We're moving from an era of information retrieval to an era of information inference.
So today we're doing a deep dive into a report that frankly terrified me a little bit.
I can see why.
It's titled The Dynamics of AI Visibility Audits by the team at Rank for AI. And the premise is simple, but, well, it's brutal. Traditional SEO metrics, ranking, traffic, all of it are no longer enough,
They aren't just not enough. I'd argue they might actually be misleading you.
which is exactly what we need to unpack. The mission for this deep dive is to understand this AI visibility audit. We're going to look at how these large language models actually read a business, why they get confused so easily, and why your technically perfect website might be completely invisible to an AI agent.
It's a huge shift from where do I rank
Huh.
to how am I interpreted?
Yep.
And those are two very, very different questions.
Okay, so let's start with the definition. The report talks about this AI visibility audit. Now, I've sat through, plenty of these technical SEO audits where they tell me my H1 tags are wrong or my load speed is 0.2 seconds too slow. Is this just a rebrand of that?
No, it's fundamentally different. According to the source, an AI visibility audit evaluates, and I'm quoting here, how clearly an organization is understood by AI systems. And they specifically name models like GPT-4 and Claude.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not checking your code, it's checking your semantic logic, your meaning.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second. If I rank number one on Google for, say, enterprise accounting software, ChatGPT has to read me. It scrapes the top results. It has web access.
It does.
So isn't ranking still the gateway drug to visibility?
Okay.
If I'm number one, I'm seen. End of story.
You're seen, yes. But are you processed? That's the distinction. The report highlights that an AI doesn't just copy-paste the text from that top result. It ingests it, tokenizes it, and it tries to build a kind of mental model of what that content really means.
So I can be number one, but the AI looks at my content and just goes, this is incoherent.
Exactly. The report calls this interpretive clarity. You can have very high ranking that have zero clarity. If the AI ingests your site and finds contradictory information or just vague marketing fluff,
Mm-hmm.
it assigns a low confidence score to your entity. It doesn't know what you are. So when a user asks for a recommendation, it just skips you.
That's wild. So it's a trust issue, but not domain authority trust, more like intellectual trust.
That's a great way to put it. Think of it like this. SEO is basically a filing clerk. It puts your file in the right cabinet.
Okay.
The AI is an analyst writing a report for the CEO. The analyst reads the file. And if that file is just a mess of buzzwords and contradictions, the analyst ignores it, even if it was at the very front of the drawer.
Because the AI has to stake its own reputation on the answer it gives.
Precisely. And the audit, it assesses three specific things to measure this: interpretive clarity, structural stability, and recommendation readiness.
Structural stability. That sounds like we're inspecting a bridge or something.
In a way, we are. We're inspecting the dam that holds your information together against the pressure of a probabilistic engine.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics. The report breaks this down into three core areas that the audit looks at. The first one is called identity clarity.
Right. Identity clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And the source poses a very specific question. Can your business be defined clearly and consistently across your website?
Now, I can imagine most marketing directors listening to this would kind of roll their eyes and say, of course we have a clear identity. We have a brand Bible. We have a mission statement.
But do they actually use it? Or do they let every single department write their own copy?
That's the rub, isn't it?
The report notes that these AI models are incredibly sensitive to what they call semantic drift. So if your homepage says you're a holistic digital transformation partner,
Oh, no.
but your service pages talk exclusively about selling printer toner, the AI has a conflict.
It detects a hallucination risk in you.
Exactly. We always talk about AI hallucinating, but brands hallucinate all the time. They project different identities on different pages.
Yeah.
To a human, we just think, oh, their marketing is a bit messy.
Right.
To an LLM, which runs on probability, that messiness actually lowers the statistical probability that you are any of those things.
So if the AI is, what, 40% sure you're a consultant and 40% sure you sell hardware?
It ends up being 0% sure enough to recommend you for either one. It defaults to a competitor who is 90% clearly defined.
That is just brutal. It's a winner-take-all game, and it's based on clarity.
It is. The AI just craves patterns, consistent tokens, words, phrases. They build a strong vector in the model's understanding. Any inconsistency just dilutes that vector.
Which leads us perfectly to the second area, and that's subject alignment. And this is where I think a lot of thought leaders are going to get in trouble.
Oh, absolutely. This is the death of the lifestyle corporate blog.
Right. I see this all the time. You have a SaaS company that's selling like serious financial software, but the CEO loves cycling, so the blog has 20 articles about the Tour de France.
And in the old SEO world, that didn't matter so much. Maybe even got some random traffic for cycling tips.
All traffic is good traffic. That was the mantra.
Not anymore. The report explains this through the lens of topic authority. When an AI analyzes a domain, it looks at the semantic distance between topics. In the vector space, which is just a map of how words relate to each other, financial software and accounting are neighbors. They live in the same neighborhood.
And cycling is in a different country.
A different country, exactly.
Yeah.
Cycling is miles away.
Mhm.
When you mix them, you force the AI to stretch its understanding of what your domain is about.
Yeah.
It starts asking, is this a finance site or is it a sports site? The more you stretch that connection, the more you dilute your authority in your core topic.
So by trying to be interesting and human, you're actually telling the machine that you aren't a focused expert.
You are introducing noise into your own signal. And the AI prefers a clean, strong signal. If the logic of your content structure doesn't hold up, the AI just loses confidence.
It's just fascinating that logic is the metric now. We used to think about keywords, now we have to think about semantic logic.
Because LLMs are prediction engines.
Mm-hmm.
They want to predict the next token, the next word. And logical structures are predictable. Illogical structures, like a bank talking about bicycles, are harder to predict, and therefore they're seen as lower quality in the eyes of the model.
Okay, the third area. And this one hits home for me because I see it constantly in B2B. It's called answer strength. The report asks, do your key pages directly respond to the questions users are likely to ask?
And directly is the key word there.
Yes. Let's talk about the burying the lead phenomenon. You go to a pricing page for a software tool. You just want to know if it's $50 or $5,000.
Right.
But before you get a number, you have to scroll past 2,000 words on the value of synergy and why integration matters.
And then at the end, the price is hidden behind a Contact Us button.
Exactly. And we used to do that for SEO. Longer time on page, more keywords, lower bounce rate. We were trained to write fluff.
And that training is now a liability. The report highlights a concept we can call retrieval cost. An AI model has a limited context window. It's basically a short-term memory or attention span. It has a Coke and budget.
It's not going to read the whole novel just to find the plot.
Exactly. If the AI has to burn through 1,500 tokens of marketing fluff just to find the answer to how much does it cost, it treats that as a weak answer. It's computationally expensive and it's semantically vague.
Okay, so it's not just annoying to humans. It's literally technically difficult for the AI to process.
It can create what's called retrieval failure. The model might ingest the page, get lost in all the preamble, and then it just conclude pricing information is unclear, even if the price was technically on the page.
Wow, that is a huge shift. We have to unlearn content length as a proxy for quality.
We have to optimize for information gain. High density of information, low density of fluff.
So we've got identity, alignment, and answer strength. Let's talk about what happens when Rank 4 AI actually runs these audits. Because the uh-oh moments in the report are pretty telling. What are the big failures they're seeing out in the wild?
Well, the most common one is something they call broad positioning. The report notes that businesses often discover their positioning is broader than they thought.
Which is a very polite way of saying they are generic.
Exactly. They use terms like solutions, empowerment, strategies.
We leverage best-in-class synergies to optimize outcomes.
Spot on. And here's a technical problem with a sentence like that. It applies to everything, which means it means nothing. When an AI reads that, it maps those words to a very generic, very central point in the vector space. It basically categorizes the business as generic corporate entity.
It puts you in the miscellaneous bucket.
And nobody ever searches for generic corporate entity. People search for Python developer for fintech. If your language is broad, you are statistically invisible to specific queries.
That makes perfect sense. What's another big discovery they're finding?
This one is tactical, and I think it's something everyone listening can literally check right now. They call it the opening paragraph problem.
Okay.
The report found that so many businesses fail to define their core service in the opening paragraph of their key pages.
Why does the top of the page matter so much to a robot, though? Can't it just read the whole thing in a millisecond?
It can, but LLMs, specifically the transformer architecture they're built on, use what are called attention mechanisms. They weight certain parts of the input more heavily than others to establish context.
So the first 50 words set the entire stage.
They act almost like a system prompt for the rest of the content.
Right.
If your first paragraph is some meandering story or a rhetorical question, you haven't anchored the AI. You haven't told it, this is a page about X.
So if you start with, in today's fast-paced world, businesses face many challenges.
The AI just glosses over it. It's looking for the noun. We are a cloud security firm. If that doesn't appear until paragraph 4, you've wasted the most valuable attention real estate on the entire page.
That's such an easy fix, though. Just cut the throat clearing. Start with the definition.
It is an easy fix, but it requires getting past that marketing ego that wants to tell a big story first.
Right. And the third discovery mentioned is the SEO trap. This is the one that validates my skepticism from earlier. They found that traditional SEO success does not correlate with AI recommendation.
This is the data point that should really scare CMOs. You can have a site with perfect technical SEO-fast load times, no broken links, perfect schema markup, and it can still fail the AI audit completely.
Because the code is clean, but the logic is dirty.
That's it, exactly. SEO crawlers look for signs of quality. AI looks for meaning. You can fake the signs, you can't fake the meaning. If your logic is flawed, the AI sees right through your H1 tags.
It's like the difference between a spell checker and a human editor. The spell checker says the document is perfect because all the words are spelled right. The editor comes back and says, this makes no sense.
And the AI is the editor. A very, very ruthless editor.
So we've covered the what and the how, but I want to land on the why. Why does the mechanism work this way? The expert in the source uses this one phrase that I think sums it all up. Summarize and select.
Yes, this is the core engine of the visible web now. AI systems summarize and select.
Let's break that down technically. Why is summarizing the gateway to being selected?
It comes down to compression. At their core, large language models are compression algorithms. They take the vast, insane complexity of the web and they try to compress it into a manageable response for the user.
Okay.
If an organization cannot be confidently summarized, it represents what you could call incompressible data. It's just noise. The AI can't shrink it down to a coherent nugget.
And if it can't shrink you down, it can't serve you up.
Precisely. Think about when you ask ChatGPT for a recommendation. You say, what's the best CRM for a small plumbing business?
Right.
The AI runs a simulation. It looks for entities it can confidently summarize as small business CRM plus field service friendly.
And if my site is a mix of CRM talk, cycling blog posts, and that vague empowerment jargon.
The AI tries to summarize you and it fails. It gets a blurry image. It can't say, this is a CRM. It says, this is a mixed topic domain with low confidence. So it filters you out. Not because it hates you, but because you didn't fit the compression model.
That is such a profound shift. We used to think, I need to be expansive. I need to cast a wide net. Now the algorithm rewards you for being dense, compact, clear.
Density is the new authority. And the report makes a very strong point about this. It says the value of the audit is identifying these structural gaps before they affect your visibility at scale.
Because right now, we're in the transition period. Google's search generative experience is rolling out. ChatGPT search is here. We are moving to the answer engine.
And once that transition is complete, if you have these structural gaps, if you are what it considers lossy data, you simply won't appear in the answers.
But the report does end on a positive note, right? This isn't just all doom and gloom.
No, absolutely not. The source really emphasizes that clarity is measurable and improvable. This isn't a black box like the old Google algorithm where nobody really knew the rules. Logic is transparent.
You can fix your opening paragraphs. You can delete the random blog posts. You can unify your service definitions.
It's just structural engineering for your content. And it's entirely within your control. You just have to stop writing for 2010 SEO and start writing for 2026 AI.
I want to leave everyone with a thought experiment today, and I really want to challenge you to actually do this. We always talk about businesses, but personal branding works the exact same way in an LLM.
Oh, absolutely. LinkedIn profiles, bios, personal websites, it's all just data for the model.
So here's the test. Go to ChatGPT or Claude right now. Type in, who is your name and what are they an expert in?
That is the moment of truth right there.
If the AI comes back with a crystal clear summary, she's a forensic accountant specializing in crypto, then you're structurally stable, you have interpretive clarity.
But if it hallucinates, if it says you're a marketing enthusiast who also likes hiking, or worse, if it confuses you with someone else.
Then you have a logic problem. You are sending mixed signals. You are functionally invisible to this new intelligence layer.
And in the future economy, being invisible to the intelligence layer is a very, very dangerous place to be.
So go audit yourself, check your opening paragraphs, and for the love of the algorithm, please stop leveraging synergies.
Thanks for diving in with us.
It was a pleasure.
See you next time. Stay clear out there.